Let me show you 10 recipes that'll help you have a no-bake summer. And I'm starting with this one. For lunch today, I am going to be making just a store-bought salad with store-bought seasoned salmon. And this is kind of like, this pack is kind of weird to open. Here we go. So this is already seasoned. It's like a citrus dill salmon. And all I'm going to do, it's thawed, is place it into my air fryer. There we go. Okay. Going into my air fryer, let's see, I'll do temp 380. I'll start it for 5 minutes and then see if it's done. If not, I'll take it a little longer, but it doesn't take that long. For the salad, I am using just a store-bought baby spinach green salad with like a vinaigrette. Let's see, open it this way. And like I said, this is just something I do when I don't want to cook. That's the theme of this video, just quick and easy things that I can make or cook or put together with store-bought ingredients. And actually, put my bowl here. And I'm just gonna dump the salad in. There we go, so good. There we go. Not all of it. That, you can add extra garnishes if you like. This has like blue cheese and pecan. I'll go in with some cracked black pepper. And I'm going to separate this salad into 2 bowls. Carefully. So one salad, I think, serves 2 people well with salmon on top. There we go. Perfect. So this is almost done. Let's see. Oh yeah, it is done. Perfect. So it'll take about, this was completely thawed and pre-seasoned, so you know, somewhere between like 5 to 7 minutes in the air fryer at 380 works. And I know it's still hot, but I'm okay with wilted spinach in some of my salad. You might want to wait till it cools, but boom, there's lunch. This is for my husband and I, and my kids, they typically like to make a sun butter and jelly sandwich and call it a day. But yep, so here's lunch. Super easy, and this is lunch when I don't want to cook. Today I'm making Mexican shrimp cocktail. Okay, so I'm making a light and fresh dinner. So I'm starting off with 1 pound of thawed, uncooked, raw, peeled, and deveined shrimp. If you're using cooked shrimp, that works as well. I'm going to be using lime, red onion, cilantro, avocado, 1 jalapeno. I'm also going to use 2 Roma tomatoes. And here I have clamato. I'll be adding Louisiana hot sauce, which is my favorite, ketchup. I'm also going to add some tahini and Maggi seasoning sauce into the mix. So I'm going to start by cooking the shrimp. You could definitely boil your shrimp, but I'm going to season. Here I'm going to add some seasoned salt into the mix, some onion powder, granulated garlic powder. I'm also going to add some lemon pepper seasoning. I'm eyeballing everything, but you can do a ½ teaspoon of all of those. And now into a preheated pan, I'm going to saute. You definitely can poach these. They are going to cook really quick. So I'm just going over with some of the seasonings. And it's going to take not even 3 minutes to cook this in a hot pan. I'm going to shut off the heat and these are done. So I'm just going to set these aside and let them cool. Okay, so let's make this shrimp cocktail sauce. I'm going to start with a ½ cup of clamato or clamato. Again, I'm eyeballing, but that's a good starting point. Here I'm going to add around a third cup of ketchup. I'm going to add my Louisiana hot sauce, like a tablespoon, but you can use the hot sauce of your choice. I just love the tang of Louisiana hot sauce. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of my Maggi seasoning. Again, ratios are up to you and your preference. I'm going to start with a couple teaspoons of this tahini, and I got to shake this and work this out. It kind of got stuck. Okay, Ultimately, I'm probably going to adjust everything once I mix it. You really want to add your ingredients, and if you want it saltier or tangier, adjust all of those things. So I'm going to squeeze in the juice of one lime. This one doesn't have tons of juice, by the way. It's kind of hard to squeeze. Okay, so one fresh lime, the juice of one fresh lime goes in. And now what I'm going to do is just combine everything well. And once you kind of combine it, mix it up, that's when you'll want to give it a taste. I am going to add some more of the tahini, and like I suggested earlier, taste it and adjust to your preference. The ingredient list and measurements I'm giving you, it's a great starting point, but you always can adjust to your preference. So I've diced all my fresh ingredients, and I removed the seeds and center of the tomatoes. That kind of helps with any excess moisture into the cocktail sauce. Okay, give that a mix, and now you'll want to add your shrimp. And see all of this like rendered seasoned broth that kind of collected? I'm adding that as well. So now just give everything a mix. And once you mix this, don't be afraid to taste for salt and seasoning. Here I am adding one large avocado. This was ripe, and I'm just going to add that right into the bowl. I kind of sliced and diced it. And now give that a mix. And this is the shrimp cocktail. This is pretty much my go-to. And since the warmer weather is upon us, it's spring, summer's around the corner, this is such a light and fresh thing to make. You can make this as an appetizer at your next party or a meal with shrimp cocktail, but today I'm just gonna grab a chip and dip, dunk, scoop, whatever you want to call it, and dig in. You could also double and triple this recipe and take it to your next backyard barbecue. So this is just fabulous, and I'm going to show you how to make it. I can't wait. Hello everyone. So today I am going to show you one of the easiest and simplest tres leches cake that you'll ever make. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. So I was perusing social media, I Googled to see an easy no-bake dessert. And I came across no-bake tres leches. And I've actually made a tres leches no-bake version where I'm using pound cake, but I don't know why I never thought to use lady fingers. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So to get started, let's make the 3 milks. I am going to be using Mexican table cream. You could use heavy cream, whole milk works. I'm also going to be using evaporated milk, 1 can, and probably to taste this maybe half can of sweetened condensed milk. I sort of looked at the recipes that were out there. I feel like with the milk, the tres leches, you kind of can get really creative. For example, I saw one video where they added cardamom into the mix. Such a great idea. Spice it up. I am going to be adding ground cinnamon. Okay, let's put it together. I gotta open these up. Oh. So I'm going to be using this large measuring cup. It's going to go right here. Actually, let me move this over. I've seen comments where you kind of don't like this setup, but I kind of do. It's kind of nice to cook out of the kitchen where I spend most of my time. So that's why I've been doing this. Hopefully the microphone is not too loud. Okay, I know I'm out of focus, but milk going in. Sweetened condensed milk to taste. I'll go with half of this can. Very slowly. I'm going to go ahead and add some cinnamon. I love ground cinnamon. Optional. I love it. When I make my tres leches from scratch, I like to steep the whole milk with a cinnamon stick and orange peel. That is literally like my favorite combination of flavors for this. Okay, I'm using Mexican table cream. It's like a very thick, heavy cream. I'm going with just a little bit, like a quarter of a cup. There we go. Mix. Now, lady fingers. I'm gonna go, this is a 7-ounce pack, 200 grams of lady fingers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna layer these. You can dunk these and place them in, I'm just going to layer, pour over the milk mixture and layer again. So, but definitely, you know, you can kind of dunk these and then layer them in the baking dish. I'm almost tempted to just eat one. Yeah, I think I can, whoops, break that in half. I mean, that works. That totally works. So now, oh, cheers. So now I'm going to pour this and just kind of, whoops. It's going to get soaked and saturated. Okay, so next layer. And you'll want to do the same thing, stack it the same way. Break in half, let it fit. Actually, I think there might be one extra for me to try. Yay. Okay. The rest is going in or on, and I'll do my best to kind of make sure I get all, oops, 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 oops. Super good, super good. So I was cleaning up and I only used a third of the can. So this is a 14-ounce can, maybe like 5 ounces. 5 ounces of sweetened condensed milk went into this. Like I said earlier, it is to your preference how sweet you want the tres leches mixture or the milk to taste. So I'm going to let this hang out. It's not going to take very long to set, but it's just going to chill in the fridge and just kind of let everything soak and settle while I make the whipped cream for the topping. So in a bowl, I'm going to add like a cup, say a cup of heavy cream. I love to eyeball things, but a cup works. And I have some powdered sugar. I'm going to add, again, it's up to you how sweet you want it. Now, you're going to whisk. You could definitely use an electric beater for this. I'm going to use some arm muscle power. I instantly regret this. My soaked lady fingers. Okay, this looks so good. This looks fabulous. Going right on top, we'll do it this way. Right in the center. And if you have company coming over and you need a quick no-bake dessert, it's this one. This is the one that you should make. And because it's soaked, it should, I mean, even if it doesn't, it's going to be good. So here's the first piece. Ah. Okay. I'm trying to have a no-bake summer. This one is definitely going on the list. Let me show you one of the easiest and laziest fall off the bone barbecue rib recipes. This is gonna be good. So to season the ribs, I'm using a homemade barbecue rub. By the way, you can use your favorite store-bought seasonings and rubs, but if you want to try this one out, here is the recipe. And you'll notice I do use 1 tablespoon of smoked flaky sea salt or just sea salt. You can skip that and just add seasoned salt or regular. I'm using a 1/4 cup of this spice rub mix. To the seasoning, I'm going to add around a tablespoon of all-purpose flour. By doing this, this will help the spice rub to stick better to the ribs, and it also acts as a thickening agent to anything that's kind of rendered in the crock pot. So just give that a really good mix. Now for the ribs today, I am using pork finger ribs. These are already cut into like singular ribs. This is easy. You could do a rack if you want and maybe divide it to fit it into the crock pot. But again, this is lazy. I'm just dumping this into my crock pot. Now I'm going to add the entire bowl or mixture of seasonings to the ribs. By the way, I'm using about 4 pounds of these pork finger ribs. Okay, so I'm just going to haphazardly mix these. Honestly, you'll probably want to mix everything in a bowl first, but again, I'm being lazy. Okay, so I am going to just add half of this bottle of store-bought barbecue sauce. Use your favorite one. And if I had to guess, I probably used like 2 cups of this by the time everything was said and done. Okay, so now I'm just going to sort of smear it and spread it on the top layer. And I'm probably going to add more later. Really, it's up to you. Now I'm going to cover with a lid. I'm going to set it to high, and I am going to let this cook in my crock pot for about 4 hours. Okay, these are done. It's as simple as that. I didn't even touch these. I just let them cook and do its thing. As you can see, the meat just slid right off the bone. Fall off the bone ribs. So easy. Lazy, lazy recipe, but well worth it. So check this out. Saucy, tender deliciousness. And you pile them on a plate, make your sides, and enjoy dinner. Let me show you the tuna avocado salad I'm making all summer long. So I'm starting off with a can of tuna and water. I'm also going to be using fresh cilantro, onion, jalapeno, fresh squeezed lime juice. Here I have some Roma tomato, and I'm going to be adding avocado. 1 or 2 works. So I'm just going to prep the ingredients, put it all together. You're going to season how you like. And a lot of the fresh ingredients are versatile. By the way, I found a cucumber. It's going in. Sometimes I add carrots. Sometimes I like to add cherry radishes when I have it. And I remove the seeds from the jalapeno because I'm like weak sauce when it comes to spice, the older that I get. But I have an uncle that calls this poor man ceviche, and he likes to add serrano peppers. So do that if you like things spicier. So add all of your chopped fresh ingredients into the bowl with the drained tuna. And now squeeze your fresh lime juice. I started off with like 1.5 medium limes. I'm going to add more. It just depends on what you like and your tastes. If I had another avocado, I'd add that as well, but I only had 1 when I made this. Because like I said, I've made this already twice this week. So give that a mix, and you'll want to give things a taste, salt and season to your preference. I'm going with this like garlic salt pepper blend. And sometimes I like to add tahini into the mix. Actually, I will add tahini on mine, and sometimes I add hot sauce. It just depends. Okay, some more seasoning, salt to taste, give it a mix, and it's done. Look, I'm not reinventing the wheel of tuna salads. You probably make this already. I just wanted to show you what I've been eating lately because the weather's hot, and I've been wanting something a little light and fresh. And this, it hits a spot. It's that good. I'll never buy another tuna fish sandwich at Subway. Subway tuna fish sandwich. Let me show you how I make it. I was perusing Reddit because a lot of people are trying to recreate the Subway tuna. Some people work there or knew people that used to work at Subway. And apparently the secret to Subway tuna fish is a 1-to-1 ratio tuna fish to mayo. I know. A lot of you are freaking out because that's probably a lot of mayo. But if you do like Subway tuna fish, I mean, it's worth a try. Okay, so tuna fish. And I actually saw another Reddit comment. They said, if you're going to mash the tuna fish, you want to mash it very well. By the way, just tuna fish in water. So I'm going to mash, break it apart. It's a 1-to-1 ratio according to Reddit. So, I mean, this should do the trick, right? So let's put it here. Can you see it? There you go. By the way, you don't have to add this much mayo. When I did this video, it was just to do a copycat recipe for the Subway tuna sandwich, but this really is good. Just scale back on the mayo. Would you like some tuna to go along with your mayo? This looks like it, I'm not gonna lie. Now, there are some things to consider. I saw a comment that said, other than mixing the 1-to-1 ratio of tuna to mayo for Subway, they would make this ahead of time, so maybe it does something else to the flavor while it sets overnight or something. Also, making sure that the tuna is dry. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that the secret? The 1-to-1 ratio? It has to be. This is spot on. I'm using pan bolillo, you know, the kind you use for tortas. Use whatever bread roll you like. I think I should do the tuna first and then top it with stuff. Or do we top? I don't know. Tuna, tomato, red onion, cucumber, lettuce, the banana peppers, and the jalapeno. A little bit of vinegar, oil, it's olive oil, and pepper. I think the only thing I would have added to this is I like black olives, but you know, cucumber slices, tomato, banana peppers. I love these. Jalapeno peppers. These are pickled jalapeno peppers. I mean, who needs pickles when you have all these pickled things? You won't miss it. Shredded lettuce. And let me put this over here. Gonna make a big old mess. Vinegar, oil, little bit of oil. Cracked black pepper. Subway who? Subway who? Look what we just did. I'll never go to Subway again for a tuna fish sandwich. This is the one. This is the Subway tuna fish sandwich you gotta try. I know, scary, lots of mayo, but that's it. Let me show you one of my favorite sandwiches. Okay, I have a lot, but this one, it's good. So this sandwich comes together quick. I'm using rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, some red onion, fresh lettuce, tomato, also stone ground mustard, and bacon jam. It makes this sandwich, and some cracked black pepper. I'm using fresh pan bolillo bread rolls from the store. So here I've sliced the chicken. This is toasty, and now I'm just gonna tear it open, and I'm gonna spread stone ground mustard on one side. You could just use yellow mustard if you want, or Dijon. Here's the bacon jam. I'm gonna spread that on the other side, add my chicken, and add my fresh tomato, lettuce, onion, and some cracked black pepper. It's up to you. And now it's time to take a bite. And the combination of flavors, simple but so good. I know I have a long list, but this one, it's at the top. Okay, another day, another bagel sandwich. Definitely this is in the top 5, top 10. I couldn't make up my mind how many, but I'm starting off with some turkey bacon. I'm gonna slice some tomato, fresh cucumber. That's optional. This is kind of like a BLT, but I like cucumber. Here I have the lettuce. I'm also gonna make this really good mayo. I have mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, crushed red pepper flakes, some onion powder, and I'm gonna give that a mix. It's very simple with the ingredients, but it really elevates the BLT bagel. Okay, toasted. Now let's put it together. I'm gonna smear on all of this mayo. By the way, the video that I posted yesterday for the other bagel sandwich, someone did say to add bacon, and so I decided to do a BLT. I'm gonna shake on some garlic, pepper, and salt mix. Now the bacon. And like I said, I'm using turkey bacon. Use regular smoked bacon, it all works. Cucumbers, layer on the tomato, and some lettuce. I love these little baby lettuce crispy leaves. Now, go in for a bite. By the way, I should have mentioned, you could use any type of bagel. I love a good everything bagel. This sandwich, this one, yeah, definitely top 5, maybe even top 3 bagel sandwiches. Let me show you the subpar but really good fried rice that I like to make. So cooking oil going in, preheated pan, I'm going to add Spam. Yes, Spam. This is Spam fried rice. I'm going to saute that and cook that, warm it through, and just kind of brown it a little bit. The next ingredient you can omit. I like it. I'm using corn. And also, I didn't have day-old rice, so I'm using fresh rice because I had it. Oh well, going in because I want fried rice. So I'm just going to break that apart and mix everything together. Continue the saute. Now I'm going to add like a tablespoon of softened unsalted butter. Here I'm going to add soy sauce to my heart's content, just eyeballing. Now some Chinese cooking wine going in because I like it. I'm going to add some of that Kinder's garlic salt pepper mix and just give that a mix. Combine, let it fry a little, the scallions on top. I'm going to combine that and this is done. This is a quick fried rice that I like to make all the time. So good. today I felt like making chicken salad sandwiches, so let me show you how I made these. To start, I'm going to make the chicken. You definitely can use rotisserie, but I'm going to cook mine in the slow cooker, and I'm going to make this seasoning mix with onion powder, garlic powder. I'm going to add some salt, probably like a teaspoon and a half. I'm sort of eyeballing things like I always do, and some cracked black pepper. Now, using rotisserie chicken from the grocery store makes this a lot easier and quicker, but I had a whole chicken that was thawed, and instead of boiling it, I'm going to cook it in my slow cooker. So I've given this a really good mix, and now I'm going to season a completely thawed 5-pound whole chicken. And I'm just going to use all of this that's in the bowl. You can season chicken how you like. I'm making a very simple seasoning because I'm going to use it in chicken salad. So I don't want a lot of other seasonings that might interfere with, the flavors of my chicken salad. Okay, so I'm going to lock those wings in. And I'm just going to continue seasoning the inside of the cavity, the outside of the chicken, flip it over, and it's going to end up going into my slow cooker. By the way, I do have a slow cooker chicken recipe that really comes out flavorful. I season the heck out of it. I will link that in the description below or somewhere throughout the video. Okay, so this is going right into my slow cooker. And I am using an 8-quart slow cooker. The chicken fits well in that. I'm going to use the rest of the seasoning mix and just kind of season and sprinkle it all over the top of this chicken. And I'm going to plug this in because one time I started my slow cooker without plugging it in, cover with the lid. And I'm going to let this slow cook on a high heat setting for it's going to take 3 to 3.5 hours for this. It just depends how chilled the chicken is. And when it's done, it looks like this. And I know it doesn't have a lot of like that golden baked chicken, but essentially I would have boiled this anyway for chicken salad. So I think it comes out a lot more tender and moist in the slow cooker. Okay, so if you have time, you might be able to do that. So I'm going to carefully remove this, and I'm going to let this rest and cool on a baking sheet until I can sort of work with it because it's really hot right now. So today I'm only going to use the chicken breast for the chicken salad, but I'll use the rest in another recipe later. Take my kitchen shears and cut right down the breastbone, and I'm going to use the white meat from the chicken. You definitely can use the entire chicken for a big batch of chicken salad, but this is enough for today. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 celery stick and I'm just going to give that a rough chop. You can chop that how you like. I'm also going to be using some red grapes. These are seedless red grapes. And I'm just going to, again, give this a rough chop, slice down the middle. The bigger ones I'll probably cut into quarters. I'm also going to add some fresh parsley, maybe like a tablespoon or so of chopped parsley. And I'm going to start cutting up and chopping the chicken breast. Some people like shredded chicken meat. You definitely can do that. I've actually had chicken salad where someone pulses it through the food processor to make it like this really shredded fine chicken meat. Do what you like. I like it chunky. So going into my large bowl, and I'm going to chop up the rest of that chicken breast. Okay, so this is going into my bowl. The chicken's ready. Now I'm going to add mayonnaise. Start with a 1/2 cup, work your way up. It's to your preference. And I started with Kewpie mayo, but I might add a little more. Here I have onion powder, some cracked black pepper is going in. I'm just eyeballing this, and some Dijon mustard. Here I'm just gonna start giving it a mix. And once you start mixing it, you'll be able to tell if you want more mayo, like I do, so I'm gonna add some more. I also want to mention season and salt to your preference. I actually am not going to add any extra salt. I think it has enough, but it really is to your taste buds. So everything's chopped, it's going in. I've had this style of chicken salad where people add fresh tarragon. I don't add it, but you can. Also, scallions goes great. I'm adding some pecans. Sometimes I add walnuts. Sometimes I add almonds. Today I have pecans. And I'll tell you what, I love the sweet and spicy pecans. It's like sweet, salty, and spicy pecans. I love adding those when I can find them, but today I just had some roasted pecans. Okay, Give this a good mix, give it a taste, and essentially, this is done. And this is what I'm having today for dinner. I like to make a batch of this and just make sandwiches out of mini croissant rolls. Here I have these. You could also just use white sandwich bread. And I'm going to start building these sandwiches. Sometimes I add fresh lettuce. Today, it's just the chicken salad. And I'll just make a plate of these, cover it with cling film, and whoever wants a sandwich, they can get one right out of the fridge. But look at this. Whether you're making these for your next party, lunch, or dinner, they are so good. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.